Hey guys, it's Study and welcome back to Comic Space, and today we're having quite a promising update for Marvel Studios' Blade film, and it finally looks like Feige and Mahershala have found the story that they are confident enough to move forward with, and they have cracked the story. And again, they are also making some major development on the director side, and again the name that we have for the directing the Blade film, it is actually quite interesting, and of course an official announcement could be made soon too. So we have a lot to talk about what is happening on the Blade side. So, as according to the reports, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige and Mahershala, who is going to be playing the Blade, have finally found the script that they are happy with, as Michael Green and Eric Pearson have wrote the script. And the major thing to talk about here is that Marvel Studios is also having some serious conversation with Chad Stahelski, who of course also directed John Wick's films, to direct the Blade film as well. So, again, this isn't quite in great news, and again, Marvel Studios has been cornered for quite some time just on the script side, let alone for the Blade film. They had multiple writers on the project, they had done tons of drafts for the Blade film, but they weren't just getting to a story that they were confident enough to tell. Because of course, it is going to be quite a major film. Mahershala is also putting a lot of thought into it. They are not going to be messing around with the character and the debut, even though it has been in quite some time with what was happening with the Blade film, and even with the conversation of getting that film cancelled, which I never thought it was going to be happening anyhow. But again, after a lot of time and a lot of thought into the story and where Marvel Studios want to go with this character and how they want to set up a lot of things with this Blade film moving forward towards the Mutant Saga and the Midnight Suns project especially. So again, a lot of things have happened within the story, a lot of things have been scratched up, a lot of drafts were written, and again, we don't know where this current story stands right now. We haven't heard a lot about where this script is going to be. And again, initially the Blade film was very close to getting into the production, but again, the script did not make sense, and that since the first delay of the Blade film, it has been the focal point that they just couldn't figure out the script and the story. A lot of things have happened, a lot of the characters have scratched up, a lot of the new characters were added. At one point the script was supposed to be taking place in the past and it was in period piece. Black Knight was supposed to be part of the Blade film as well, which of course was evidently set up in the Eternals post-credit scene as well. Which again, it also looks that's no longer going to be the case. Black Knight is not going to be involved in this film, and it does looks like the story is pretty much going to be centered around the Blade and Blade only. Right now they have the script, and we know that Marvel Studios have two release dates for the next year, for 26. They have one February release date and one for the November month. And again, a lot of things that we have been hearing that Marvel Studios have took down the February release date. They are not going to be releasing anything. We are heading into Fantastic Four First Steps and directly into Avengers Doomsday. There's nothing in between. They have reportedly taken out that release date. We still have to wait for an official confirmation for the full slate reveal of the Phase 6. We only have 3 films right now on the Phase 6 slate, and not too much to go on even on the Disney Plus side for that. So we still don't know what's going to be happening and how this whole Phase 6 is going to be building up, with 3 major projects already announced, which again tells you a lot about where they're going to be heading with it. If they have taken out the Feb release date, it is probably going to be the November release date, because I think with all of the things that we have been hearing, it would make sense that Marvel Studios would do in Doctor Strange 3 film, Shang-Chi 2, which again, Destin Daniel Cretton is also doing Spider-Man 4, so that is not going to be the case. Black Panther 3 even for that, because we have been hearing a lot of things about that. Ryan Coogler is actually working on that project as well. But again, given all of that, the most likely film to be after Avengers Doomsday and after Spider-Man 4, it is probably going to be, and taking up that November release date, it does looks like it is going to be Blade. Unless, even though they have figured out the story and where they want to go with this character, they are going to be holding that film off until they have wrapped up the multiverse saga and give that release date to some other major project, another multiverse central project especially, and to build the story of Avengers Doomsday, Spider-Man 4, I guess Doctor Strange 3 or in project something like that, and then leading into Avengers Secret Wars, because Blade is going to be very much disjointed from the multiverse saga and where they're going to be heading up. Blade film and all of the supernatural side of the MCU is going to be leading up to the Midnight Suns team up for sure, and that is going to be way down the road. First of all, they have to get the Blade film out, which is of course that's going to be the number one priority, even though they have the script, but it also has to make sense in the overall storyline with what Marvel Studios is doing with the multiverse saga. The timing also has to make sense. So again, I think it is going to be quite fun with how Marvel Studios is going to be figuring out and how the final Phase 6 is going to be looking like. So it is going to be quite fun when we get to it. So I think it is time for me to see you guys off on this one. I'm so glad that you guys got the time to hear me out. Thanks for listening to me. This is your host Adi signing off. See you in the next one.